Hey Jacob, Coach Benlin here. Just breaking down some of your swings from our last session. I've put all the notes into a document again that I'll send over to you. You should know the routine by now. Um, so let's start here. Overall, we've been working on with you and on your swing for the past 7 months, I think, since about August. And I have a tons of file and film on you that I go through, pages of notes, and we really like what you're doing right now. We're very excited about how this off season work is going to come into the spring and the summer seasons. Um, some of the stuff that we're going to go over is very nitpicky and you know not huge problems, but we're going to continue to build this swing. And you're working very hard, and it's paying off, and I can tell you're enjoying it. And I keep telling you, stick with the process. Don't worry about the results so much. Love the process. Just keep working, and it's going to pay off for you. So let's get into it. I broke it down into things we're going to continue to monitor, different points of emphasis we're going to watch going forward, and then I put together a list of 7 or 8 videos that I want to show you. A lot of stuff from Twitter that I follow that I think really will connect with you. So let's start out by we'll go over the things to monitor, and then we'll play the video loop from one of the better sessions I think you had. Um, and we'll kind of break it down frame by frame there. So first things, nothing new here. We're going to watch the hands and the load, right? We want to make sure that we're maximizing separation. What I mean by that is that, when you're tracking the pitch in and you're getting into your load and you're about to peak at your load, we want to make sure that as that front foot's going to land, that heel strike, that front foot's coming down, that your hands are all the way back, right? They're not drifting forward, that your hands are getting back as that front foot's coming down and you're fully separated. We talked in the last video about pulling that rubber band back all the way, maximizing that load, um, and then also watching that. We called it a lazy top hand to make sure that bat's not wrapping. Sometimes it does with you. We want to keep an eye on that as well. So as far as the hands and the load, let's get them back all the way. Don't let them cheat forward, and watch that top hand so that bat's not wrapping. We've been focusing on loading in the right places. We did the jump back drill. I'm a big fan of the jump back drill. Jumping back onto that back leg. I know you've expressed, a little discomfort in your knee from a previous injury, but the more we get into that back knee and that rear leg, the more we're going to build, the more power we're going to generate. We want to make sure that that back knee is inside that back foot, and that you have a little back knee bend. And I've seen a little inconsistency, and I'll point that out in the video loop. Keeping with the linear versus the rotational. Avoid rotating, behind your back in your load. We talked about that. You know what I'm talking about? Loading on that line, back to forward, not around. We're not going to rotate um, in our load. And then the finish, the big up and out finish and follow through that we talk about, finishing the path that bottom man. I could tell the adjustments that you made. I'm a big fan of them right now. Let's continue to work on getting through that baseball, extending through contact with that big up and out follow through. You're doing a great job of it so far. Let's play the loop, and then we'll go over some of the points of emphasis. Here we go. All right, I'll let it play through a couple times, and then I'll kind of break it down here. Let me just start it over. Okay, so looking at this loop here, a few really good swings in the loop, a couple miss hits, and we'll talk about that. But overall, we're seeing major improvements here. And I believe this was off the machine, which is a good sign 'cause it's the first time we brought the machine out. Cut the bottom half of that one, popped it out, and this one's the last one to roll over here. Swing 1 and 3 in the loop, I really like. Let's watch it one more time. Like this swing, solid contact right back where it came from. This one's a little bit of a miss hit. Up and out, you have trouble with that one. This one's pretty solid. Yep. And this one, you cut the bottom half straight up. And then outside pitch here, you roll over with that top hand, trying to pull an outside pitch. Yep. So let's break it down swing by swing here. So things I'm seeing that I like. Let's get into the load here. We talked about that front leg. I'm looking at the front leg here as you lift up. You're doing a much better job tucking that knee, almost towards the back hip there, that diagonal. I really like this. Let me draw and show you exactly what I'm talking about here. I love this direction here, right? Getting into that back hip, everything's loading in there. The thing that concerns me here, we talk a lot about keeping that back knee inside the back foot, right? So if we're talking about back knee inside the back foot, right here, this is a straight line down. We do not want that, right? We do not want that. We would like almost, this sort of shape here, right? With the foot being here and the back knee being almost, here. So you get that nice A shape that we talk about a lot, that A shape. Let me clear it here to show you with the stars here. Love to see inside the back foot here, the back knee being inside here, and of course generating this back hip here, okay? When we talk about loading in the right places, this is what we refer to. The jump back drill is something that I think connected with you, and we can do that more going forward. So here's the load, top of the load here. Here comes the way down. Now right there, that's decent separation, right? Your hands aren't drifting too far. The front foot does land open, which we've talked about. It's not terrible. We want it at a 45-degree or less. Because watch that front knee here. Watch right here. You're ready to land closed, and watch frame open, frame open. Watch the knee. One. Watch that front knee. Let me circle it here for you, in case you forgot where your front knee was. Okay. We're here. We're closed. Next frame open. Next frame land open. By the time the heel is down and you're ready to go, this is where the hips and the hands are about to come. Look at your front knee open, 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 right? All the way. That front knee is going to tear that front hip open early and that front shoulder. So let's try to land closed, right? We've been over that before. Let me clear the screen. Okay. There's a lot of good frames here, though. I like this right here. Eyes down, tracking the ball in, point of contact. Hips and hands are coming. You see that barrel coming through the back of the zone here, right? You can see that, the cameras can barely pick it up. You see the barrel almost bending here, right? A little 90-degree in the back leg. Back foot is heading forward, back knee into the front knee right there. It's a pretty good shot right there. It's a pretty good shot. Things I like, things you're doing well. We talk about your head all the time. This is what it's about. Witnessing that point of contact. We love that point of contact. This front leg should be fully straight, right? You're opening up a little bit. We have a somewhat of a 90-degree in the back, which is not bad. And then, generating right here is where this power comes from. Right all up in there. So there's some good things here, things we've been working on. Okay, let me play this swing through one more time. Love the finish, right? Look at the bottom hand. We're working on it. Contact, through contact a little bit, and a big finish and follow through. Not bad. I don't mind the one hand finish at all. And I like the style points with the open top hand there. Interesting. Here's the loop. Here's the clip. Play it through full speed. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Next swing here. Decent. Watch the back knee here. Watch how you load in this back knee. That one's a little better. I'm not gonna lie, a little better, but watch. We want to make sure that you're not bringing that knee over that foot and somehow ending up outside. Much better than where you were, but keep that back knee inside that back foot. Okay. Here's an example of that up and out pitch. Okay. That up and away pitch that we work on off the tee. If that barrel head starts to drop right there below your hands, right? Hard to see with the blur, but if we have hands here and barrel heading in this direction down here, you're going to cut the bottom half of the ball. And you're going to get that backspin straight up to an infield pop out. Okay. Keep that level with your hands. Don't drop that barrel below your hands. And then here's the one that you roll over. Outside pitch. I'm going to show you a video that'll help you in a minute. Watch this. Outside pitch. That should end up to the right center field gap. Okay, going back to the doc, points of emphasis. Are we adjusting to different pitch locations? Out of 5 swings you saw in that loop that we put together, right? There's 2 yeses, right, middle, middle. They do a great job setting up the middle. The one that is up and out, we've talked about struggling with that, dropping the barrel below your hands. We're going to work on shooting that down the right field line. And then the down and out that you try to roll over, right? Instead of going hitting it where it's pitched. I'll show you a video in a second. Are we loading in the right places consistently? Sometimes you are. Sometimes that back knee is inside that back foot. You're generating, feeling it in the quad, in the back glute, building. And sometimes you're kind of letting that knee travel outside over the back, directly over the back foot and losing that power and that balance. How can we make sure this work translates to in game? We're going to go more overhand, more off the machine, mess with your timing, mess with different pitch locations, different grips and pitches out of our hand, and make sure that when you start seeing, real pitching in the spring and summer season, you're ready to take this and make adjustments and be successful. Are we balanced enough to be on time for velocity? You're seeing a lot of front toss, right? You're seeing a lot of overhand fastballs. But when we start seeing spin, can we adjust to spin? Are we balanced enough where we can get that front foot down, hover there, be ready to go, hover and hit, recognize the pitch, where it is, what kind of pitch it is, and then make adjustments. Um, these are the things we're going to work on going forward. I have about 8 videos to show you. Yelich, Tatis, Arenado, Swanson. A lot of good stuff here. Kyle Lewis. Let's get right into it here. The first one I wanted to show you is what I think is one of the prettiest swings in baseball. And I think he's really changing his swing, which may seem crazy with all his success. But if you watch different clips of him, this is a little different here. This is a little different. And what I really like here, I know it's a lefty, but I want you to watch 2 things here. Watch his back knee and his load inside the back foot. See that? That's what I'm talking about. It's a good visual representation of what we're trying to work on. The second time through, watch his separation. Watch how far back his hands are as his front foot lands. Look at all the energy and torque that he's building. Ready to snap, ready, bang, right there. We want to maximize that separation, right? Building that rear leg, let it land, hips and hands, extend and follow through, right back where it came from, bang. It's pretty, it's pretty. Here's a visual I saw that I really wanted to show you, talking about keeping that back knee inside the back foot and building in that back glute, right? And the front quad. You can't see the quad from this side. When you're building and you're loading in the right places, this green areas here is where you'll see it. Inside the back foot, inside the back knee, in the back glute, and in the front quad and the rear leg. That's where we build. Here is Mr. Tatis. Big payday, right? Adjusting to different pitches, high, middle, and low pitches. They'll play the loop again. When it starts over, watch the front guy here, attacking the high ball. Middle guy right here, middle, middle. This is the pitch that you like. And watch this pitch that's down and in. Recognizing it, where it's pitched, getting it out early. Look at where the ball travels on each one. Where'd you hit the first one? Right here. Top. Here comes the slow loop again. Give me 1 second. Watch where he gets them. Lets it travel on the first one. Stays on top of the ball. Bang. Right over the plate. Middle, middle. Lets it travel. And watch him get out in front on the inside pitch. Right there. Adjusting to different pitches. Things we're going to work on. Things that we got to make sure we have so we're ready in game. And here's Mr. Arenado working on his head movement. We talk about minimizing head movement, keeping our head down through contact. You've got miles better at this, so much better at this. Watch his drill. He has no concern about where the ball's going. He's witnessing that point of contact when the ball mushes into the barrel, head down all the way, starting on his front shoulder, looking down at the point of contact right here, and finishing on his back shoulder, right? That's what it's all about. Here's Dansby Swanson working on the same thing, keeping his head down, flipping the outside pitch to right field. Not trying to do too much here. Seeing the ball deep, especially on the outer half. The more you wait, the deeper you see it, the more likely that your front shoulder is going to open up and your head's going to pull out. Here's a drill that we work on with you all the time, right? This is head down, Outer half, seeing it deep, one hand ISO with the bottom hand, flipping it to right field. Right? Look at his head movement. Look at the path of the bottom hand. This is all you need to do constantly. You're going to see 75%, 80%, depending on who you ask. Outer half fastballs or off speed pitches from a right handed pitcher that are traveling away from your body. If you can hit this pitch, you're going to be very successful. Here's how it's done. Rookie of the year, Kyle Lewis, seeing that outer half, driving it down the right field line. Look where it gets over the plate. And they say they don't see pitches deep. That is deep. Head down all the way. Look at the bottom hand extending. Watch the knob all the way that way. Look where his hands are heading. His hands are heading to the first baseman. He's guiding that pitch out there. Here's another angle here. Same pitch. Look at the hands. Staying balanced enough to recognize that spin going away from him, shooting it down the right field line. Balance, right? Minimal head movement. Direction of the knob. Being able to react to different pitches, different places, different speeds, situational hitting. This is really good stuff here. So to break it down here before I get you out of here, we want to make sure that we're continuing to monitor the hands and the load, get them back, keep them back, right? Loading in the right places, keeping that back knee inside that back foot, generating power, staying linear versus being rotational in our load, and then that finish. Keep bringing that big up and out finish, finishing the path of bottom hand. Let's continue to make sure we are adjusting to different pitches, different pitch locations. Continue to load in the right places. I can't say it enough. Consistently getting that back knee inside that back foot, building in that quad, that rear leg. Working to translate this into game, right? Not just being a guy that can hit front toss in a cage, right? Recognizing different grips, tracking it out of the pitcher's hand, getting your timing down the on deck circle, all the preparation stuff, right? The focus stuff. And then being balanced enough to hit the velocity when we see it, but also not being fooled or guessing on off speed pitches, being able to hit with two strikes, things that we got to get you a little better at. Any questions, bring it into the next session, shoot me a text or email, and we'll continue to work on this, man. You're doing a great job. Keep it up.